Up and running. Are we started? Okay, it's a bit of a late start this morning, so we've got the sizing, but it's something new. We've got a new setup here today, so hang on a sec. I'll explain once I get back to this session, but right now I gotta do some cooking first. So I can't see the screen for a few minutes. You guys take care of yourself. I'll cook up some size here. Making some pasta. I wish I was. I'm hungry actually. Hi. Okay, as I said, we got a new setup this morning. Just let me finish cooking this stuff up. I'll bring it over here. And we're trying something new today. Okay, I think we are good to go. Okay, it's a sizing day, as you can see. Pull out some chicken soup. Yeah. Heated pad, yes. So we've worked out, or we're trying to first experiment with a heated pad here. And whatever, we'll give it a go. Where are we at today? We're at the usual status, and the last few times we've done this, this is where we've been. It's 12 degrees or something, and it's way low. Humidity is really, really low, which is not so happy for me. We want this stuff to dry slowly. And on a day like this, once I hang these sheets, pop. And I can't control that. There's nothing I can do about that. That's what you get with winter. But what we're trying here is we've got a heated pad. So, scalpel, nurse. So, what we've got, it's simple. I know in Japan, lots of kitchens are cold, so they have, for housewives, they have a little hot carpet that goes on the ground when they're sitting washing their dishes and stuff. And that's what we got here at the base. On the base fit, there's a heated pad. On top of it, I've put my board, the board that we will be doing the actual sizing on. And on top of that, for the past half hour, has been sitting my deck of paper. So the paper has been heating up, the board has been heating up. Hopefully, this will help. The reason this has become something we really have to try, the last couple of batches of sizing that I've done here, I've done what I thought was an okay job. I've brushed it out carefully. It looked good. All looked cool. The printers are really not happy. It's what they call, they use the Japanese word janko. It's not junk. It's, if you imagine a spotty, speckled pattern, and it's pretty clear what's happened. The glue hasn't melted smoothly into the paper. Even though the glue here is soft and smooth and melted, obviously what's been happening, as soon as it hits the paper, it just congeals before it has a chance to smoothly flow out through the paper. So we're going to give this a try. But how's this going to work? I'm going to take off the towel, put it away, take the paper off, stand it up on the wall, and the paper will instantly start to get cold. So I think all I can do is just simply get going. Once I get started here, once I'm ready to go, once I got my brush softened up, it's going to be a jum, 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 jum today. So I may have time to watch the chat, I may not. Well, raising the temperature here, this is already at 60. I don't want to run it up too much hotter than this. Again, I don't know what's happening at a molecular level, but the higher the temperature of the glue itself, the more it's going to break down and lose its strength. The question about the image, how do others? Same as me, I don't draw, so it's the same thing. I don't know what I can say to you. I know. I'm not art enough, so how do others get like the image on the block? I don't quite understand. If you can't draw, just borrow an image. Get an old ukiyo-e print from the old days and copy it, or get a friend who can draw and draw something, if that's what you mean. As far as the technical way of getting it on the block, follow some of our videos where I do this on the stream all the time. So I can't show it and do it today. This is a different job today. Okay, double check, Dave. What's right? Glue is in. Mixture 40 grams per liter. Alum is in. Mixture 13%. Brush is softening. That's ready. Temperature is, whoa, nearly 60. That's pretty high. Okay, no problem. This is ready. What am I going to do when I start? I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to pick up this paper, put it here. Take the towel and roll it up somewhere, put it away. Put the first paper on, tape it, and just get started. One sheet, do another 2 sheets. Once we finish the front side, there'll be no towel. We can put a paper on it. We can put a plastic. I've got my plastic ready. Yes, plastic is standing by. After I do the front side, I will flip it over. Then where will I put it? Because I've got no more room now because of the hot pad. I will put it here, so I'll have to get rid of some of this junk. Excuse me, junk, using the word loosely. So that sheet, once I flip it over, that's going to come here. We'll probably have to move this as well. Playing with that stuff down. Can he stay there safely? Garbage, garbage. Are you gonna get glued? Who knows? Okay, I think I'm ready to go. Like I said, it's a different setup, so I want to run in my mind first what happens before we do this thing. The paper, does the paper go there? The paper doesn't go there, so let's get a sheet. Let's get a board here first. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. Let's try this. Yeah, I thought it was going to fit there. It's not going to fit there. That is warm. Cooling off as I speak, obviously. Okay, let's do this thing. This size is weak today. We're down to 40 grams now. This is about as cold as we're going to try and do this. So from the 60 grams we had in the summer, we're now down to 40 grams here in winter. Okay, let's go. Let's move. Japanese bathhouse, ne? So. What am I sizing paper for today? The answer to that is going to be the same now for the next 10 months or so. I'm sizing paper for subscription prints. You don't need to ask anymore. That's going to be it for me for the rest of the year. I'm sizing paper for subscription prints. It's going to be a never-ending process here. So far so good. It seems quite warm here. The paper's each sheet. If as long as I keep going quickly before that paper standing up there doesn't get too cold. Now this is the paper for number 3. This is the paper for number 3 for March's print. One is out of here. No, one is not all out of here. The first half of number 1 has physically been shipped. They've gone. They've left the building. They're on their way to subscribers. The second half of the number 1 print, the second 100, is being printed as we speak. It should be finished quite soon now. The first half of number 1, the 2 girls, Ishikawa-san and Ishikawa-san and Sugu-san, they're partway through the first half of number 2. The paper, the sized paper for number 2 is already done. It was hanging up last week. This is the paper for the first half of the March print. We have to keep on a way in advance of this stuff. The carving, number 2 is of course done because they're printing it already. Number 3, the key block is carved. I've done the color separation work together with Chon-san, the young carver. We've taken Jet's Photoshop concept and worked to a large extent with that. We've made a bunch of changes. Is Jet listening? I don't know. And he's right now, he's carving the color blocks for number 3. So by the end of this month, in another week or so, by the end of February, he will then move on to start carving the key block for number 4. And that's at the point where we can start to relax a little bit because we will finally be on top of it. That sudden run up to 200 subscribers kind of took us by surprise. We knew we'd get 100 or so, but that we would run straight to 200 was a bit of a surprise to all of us. As far as making more than 200, I can't say anything about that. The blocks are, of course, in wonderful condition. There's no reason not to make any more. We just don't have printers. So I've got no idea when we'll be able to start another batch of 100. What we'll do is when we find printing staff, we'll get the organization of our own printers. We'll schedule another 100. And we'll open this series up again for 100 more people. But I have no idea when we'll be able to do that. No, there's no designs. The last design I saw was the tea plantation. I think that was August. And then he and I chatted about it. He's going to knock off for a while. He's got something else to do. In fact, I don't know on his Insta, has he talked about this, is it a Spider-Man? This is Spider-Man something he's done for a print for the Comic Cons. He had a fun one he's been showing me the past few days. Nothing, we won't be making a woodblock print of it. It's a design for his own business. He usually puts them straight up on Instagram. So. On a live stream? Jed? Really? Really? Is that stored anywhere? Is it Twitch? Link. Oh, live stream on Instagram. So there's no, is it stored? Can we see it later? The sheets now, they're cold over here. We've lost our temperature here. So I think what I'll do, maybe I'll slow down a bit now. I'll put the paper on here, let it pick up some of this warmth. So if I go too quickly now, the sheets are cold. Yeah, that's better. Wait just at least a few seconds. It picks up some of that warmth. Okay, good. We'll learn how to do this here. I can maybe get my breakfast. So far that's breakfast so far. No drink, I'm sorry, not right now. I didn't get things, I was too busy getting this stuff all set up. Also, it's going to be a day down in the shop. It's going to be a day. We have three party groups coming. We have 3 party groups booked. And a few minutes ago, just before I started the stream here, I went to the website. I shut off any chance of any more parties being booked in today. So the website now is shut down. No more parties can happen today. Because I got a message from one of our staff, the one who was supposed to be in the shop helping me. He's got the flu this morning, so he booked off. So I'm it. I'm the only person in the shop this morning. So when Cameron gets here, I'll tell him that news and he can grab his computer. He's going to come down to the shop. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to become shop staff for the day. And it's Monday. Mondays are usually always busy, busy, busy. So I've got to do those 3 party groups and run the shop at the same time. So it might get a bit chaotic. So. So that Instalink, is that Jed's? No. Okay. Running a heater, yeah, I know, hot water, adding humidity. I'm in a concrete room with like 3-meter ceilings. To try and climatize the entire room is really beyond what we have any chance of doing here on this kind of basis. I mean, the common sense answer obviously is work in a building that has climate control, you know, a modern building. We just don't have that option. I've got an ancient building here, and there's a limit to how much we can afford to structure it, you know. The building is near the end of life. It'll be coming down at some point. That's probably going to be determined by the next strong earthquake that hits Tokyo. The common sense answer is a modern building, of course. There's no question about it. We don't have that flexibility. So. It was much worse in the old days, you know, of course. They just learned how to do it. On the plan, on the plate. So whatever, we're starting to get the schedule worked out and the plans made. You know, I have to do lots of sizing before I go, make sure there's enough paper. We're going to try and organize the printing for the 3rd and 4th prints in the subscription series. It'll be for the 3rd print. We're going to try and get the blocks done so that I can be part of the test printing for the 3rd printer. You know, I can watch the printers as they're doing their test printing. And then I'm away for 10 days, so as long as there's no problem during that 10 days. I'm not worried about putting the shop behind me. The shop isn't something, you know, this business isn't something that causes me stress. It's not that I'm worried about the stuff. I enjoy what we're doing here, you know. And of course, while I'm away in Canada, I'll be in touch with the staff every day. Just, I would be uncomfortable not to be. It's okay. I don't need a vacation in the sense of Dave has to forget all this stuff. That's not how I roll. You know. I would maybe need a vacation in terms of a few more hours to sit down by myself. It would be cool to go sit on a beach somewhere. That would be fun. Just that's not on the schedule for this part of my life at the moment. There's no huge stress here. You know, I'm fine. Okay, now here we go. This is done. This paper is now wet, wet, wet. It's also, it seems to me, staying quite warm. Let's see if we can flip it, and this is the problem now, is it's going to start to cool off really fast. Well, I'll tell you what, that's what I'll do. Instead of flipping it straight away, let's do this. Let's cover it for a minute. Let's cover it for a bit, and let's let it sit and get some of the warmth of this pad. Let it get warmer and warmer and warmer. In fact, let's do this. Let's put this back on. let's take a break here. Let's get this thing warmed up. Let's put my brush away. If I give this 5 or 10 minutes, get warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer, then when we flip it over and start pulling it off, it'll give us some lead, some pad, some lead time. Show and tell. It's in my mind, actually. I think I said the other day, during winter while I'm doing sizing, there will never, ever, ever be a show and tell on a sizing day because I can't take any time off. And yet here I am, I've worked myself into a corner of the time off. No, I don't have a show and tell here. I can't run downstairs now. Do I have a show and tell? What do we got here? Do I have something downstairs? Let me think about this. What did we get the last few days? There might be something. Hang on a sec. Let me take 1 minute. Let me skip downstairs to the second floor. Let me see what I can find. Hang on a sec. How can I do this? The keyboard cover is a piece of plastic. It's getting end of life. Time to get a new one soon. Are you okay? Okay, let's do a little bit of show and tell, just while we let this paper get warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer. What we've got here, I showed you some similar stuff to this. I should get the camera moved down there. Hang on, let me move the camera. Earthquake coming. Oh, hang on a second. If I do this, it's going to be okay, maybe? All right, okay, let's try this. Anyway, getting ready for the next David's Choice YouTube video. The thing's almost, the pieces are almost all in place now. It's just been waiting for me to get to it. The next David's Choice video is going to be about some of the very small prints. We usually call them matchdabber. That's what it says here. Matchdabber Doisan scribble. I can't even see what he says. No idea. Match label prints. This is a package that belongs to our associate Doisan, the guy who works here. You see him, he's the older guy who comes on Mondays. He'll be coming today. You've met him now and then when he comes in on early on the stream. The next David Choice video is going to be of my own collection of small match label prints. We're going to inspect some of the prints I have. We're going to talk a little bit about the history, what they are, what they came from. We're going to show some nice close-up views. And then we're going to, well, you'll see in the next video, we're going to actually, like print and stuff and whatever makes up. But as part of getting ready for this David's Choice video, I asked Doisan. I knew he had a bunch in his own collection as well. So I said, have you got some special ones that you'd like me to share, whatever, as part of this video? So this is a couple of months ago, or at least a month ago. He brought a little package. He's not giving this to me, of course. This is part of his own print collection. He brought me a few of the things that he's got in his own collection about match labels. And he's got a couple of books here. So let's take a look. I haven't even studied this. Which way up is it? Other way up. I haven't even really studied this myself. So let's have a look and tell. First, let's just grab a page at random. Okay, here we go. Oh, I've got that one. Okay, what we have here. This is a little album that would have been made up by a private collector, one of the people who was collecting these things. We can zoom in a bit on this, I guess. Most of these labels, they had their origins in actual matchbox covers, like packages of matches that people, hostesses in bars, would give to their customers with the bar phone number and address on it. Sort of advertising. It was actual, they were printed labels that were a box of matches. People would strike a match and light up and do their cigarettes and stuff. But they evolved from there into a sort of a collectible item, and we don't really know when the switch actually flipped. People must have collected them. Like when I was a kid, I collected like cigarette cards and baseball cards and stuff. So that must have happened here too in Japan. People started collecting matchbox covers. Then somebody started to make collectible versions of matchbox covers, and it exploded from there. And you'd have things like there'd be groups of 100 people or 200 people. They would get together and talk about it and exchange it, and they would commission a set to be made. Now I don't. Again, I'm just looking around at what I've got here. These four here, they have a similar drawing and a similar style. They've got similar name on them. I hear a noise. It must be Cameron-san coming, is it? 8:39. So this will be part of a set, and the group would commission a set to be made with a certain theme. That sounds like Sugu-san's footsteps. It is Sugu-san. How you doing? Are you okay? 大丈夫ですか?
大丈夫です。
ギリギリですか?
ギリギリです。
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
ごめんなさい。
No, 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 no,
ありがと
no,
うございました。
no. 休んだ方がいいか。
あ、大丈夫、両方で大丈夫。ありがとうございます。
今、河合さんからメール。
あ、もう河合さん。え、
そう。
河合さんが。
そう、休んで。
あれれれれ。
そう。
本当。インフルじゃないから大丈夫。
いや、インフルエンザみたいで、彼が
そうなの？
病院行きます。
あ、本当。
そう。Yeah, please take care, okay, Sugi-san. She's bundled up like a nest. She was off yesterday. She didn't feel great together, under the weather, and today she's going to give it a try. What do you say? She knows we're way behind. She wants to get going, but half me wants to say, get out of here and go to bed, and half me says, okay, let's give it a try. I don't know. So yeah, collecting cards, but the point of this was the groups would actually create these things. It wasn't so you're buying them from some company who was just printing stuff and giving it to you. Each of these groups created stuff. They had ideas for concepts. Some of the people in the groups actually drew pictures, and it was sent to a woodblock workshop for commission, and they would make whatever, maybe 200 sets of each. And they would, oh, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. They would make maybe 200 sets of each and exchange with each other and exchange with other groups. Come on and say hello.
Yeah.
It's getting mixed up. I'm sizing, just to bring up to what's happening. Aoyama-san has prepared the new hot table.
Okay.
It's a warm table, it's not so hot.
Yeah.
So I've done the first half of this paper, and rather than quickly run ahead to the second half, I'm letting the paper warm up. So I actually have time to do a tiny bit of show and tell. I hadn't planned it. And as soon as I think this paper is warm enough, we'll flip it over and do the second half and stuff like this. Did you get the email? I know Kawai-san is down, he's off. So it's me in the shop. It's me and me. Doi-san's going to be here, but he can't do much of anything. So I went to the website and shut down the parties. So
Okay, so no new signups.
there's no new signs, but there's 3 groups coming. So if you can,
Yeah.
do what you can do
Up here
first and then
down.
get down.
Yeah,
and
sure.
also I forgot, I know I didn't touch the subscription stuff.
Okay.
But the order entry software, I just moved the whole thing to my own computer.
Okay.
So that I could run it myself during the weekend. And I haven't moved it back yet.
Okay, so don't touch it yet.
Don't touch the order entry side
Okay.
yet. Do the
But
subscription
subscriptions are
side
okay.
yet. Go ahead. And as soon as I'm done here and I'm downstairs, is that a samurai rat? It's Cam. What do you mean is Cameron working here?
What?
I don't know. Whatever.
Yes, I know.
It's probably a new face. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So as soon as I'm done here and we're downstairs, I'll put the software. I'll
Okay.
move
Sounds
it back
good.
over and then you do
Leave it
whatever.
on.
Actually, I don't know. I didn't see a whole bunch of stuff in the box tonight anyway. So it's been quiet. There won't be a whole ton of mail for you. It's been
Yeah.
quiet. And I kept a list. Actually, maybe I should send that to you first. What I did over the weekend. Hang on a second. It's my homework for Cameron. What I did on the weekend. I have to let him know what I screwed up and what I didn't screw up. Weekend notes. Here we go. Oh, just one item. Okay. Oh, it's about a screw. Okay, never mind.
Take a look.
No, it was whatever.
Okay. I'll take a look at it.
I've fixed it all, so it doesn't matter. So
Okay.
it's okay.
It's good to know. Okay. Look
Yeah.
at it
Okay.
away
Okay.
then.
I'll.
On stream or the sizing, and if you need help moving this over, let me know.
I'm not sure
I don't know
what
if
to
you'll
do
make
here.
it.
No, what I want to do, let's chat about that now, because I'm letting this paper sit and warm up. Then in a minute, I'm going to flip it over and do the thing on the back. And I want to do the same thing. I want to let it sit and soak and get really warm before I hang it up.
Okay.
So it means I've got to kill 10 to 15 minutes. I might keep this book here and do this, or I think by then it'll be 9:20. I don't think I'll have time to do that.
Okay.
So probably you're not going to see the hanging up part in today's stream, I think, because I'm going to need a delay to let this paper get as warm as it can before I hang it up. So the usual thing, Cameron said, I try and move the camera.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to do that today.
Okay.
Once I finish chatting here, I'll do the back side, and then actually pretty much we'll shut it down at that point. Okay, so we won't see the hanging up part.
All right. Sounds good.
Good.
See you
good,
later.
Good, thanks. Is this disorganized this morning or what? Can't be helped. Can't be helped. Can't be helped. So anyway, as I said, the story about all these things is going to be told in that video. So let's just, I'll maybe keep quiet for a little bit. Let me flip through this book a bit. And you can see some of the stuff that we will be talking about when we look at these things. Can I get it where the camera can see it? Something like this here. What I was going to say was the album format you see here would have been created by one of the original collectors back in the day. And there'll be a date on here somewhere. It'll come up at some point. There'll be prints here with a date, so we'll be able to see what date it is. Well, here we have right now Showa 8. That's one date. I don't know what Showa 8 is. One of you guys can figure it out for me. Here we have, this is Showa, my God, what's that? Oh, that's Showa 8 also, yes. So Showa 8, that'll be mid-1930s, right? So it would have been a collector in the 1930s or so. And we have an octopus, wow. Nothing, and he's looking at some balls, some octopus ball food. Who knows what the story is there. And again, yeah, you can see some of the themes. This would have been one made with kabuki themes. There wouldn't have been 5. They usually came in sets of 8 or 12 or 24. So this guy hasn't been too careful about keeping his sets together, clearly. And they're fun, you know, they're really, really fun. This one's really, really a random album, just a few of each set pasted together. There's 6 here, some kind of kabuki theme. And they really are, there's a letter in the album here. They really are fun. Some of them are just so beautifully made. Let's see if I can find something that looks really nice. Oh, this is rough. These are hobby ones. This is, I don't know, hobby people making their own as well. Here I have some wartime stuff. Look at this, Fleets of Navy Action. Let's pass over that. How close can we get? Oh, they're real woodblock prints, all carved, all printed. Again, that's Showa 8, the same thing here. Yeah, this book is made, this looks like Gampi paper actually. This is a nice washi. The guy has taken the trouble to make his book on a really nice, nice washi paper. And actually, he's got something here. He's actually got a stamp. These are different people's names in the group. This is Oda-san. This is Machida-san. Mitamura-san. Uchigawa-san. So he must have had a little stamp for each member of his group. And when he got prints from each of those people, he put a little stamp beside them showing your name. This is quite a sophisticated little deal. Oh, look at this. Where have I seen something like that before? I mean, endless ideas for print series, you know. We can't just grab these because given the date of these, 1930s and 40s, some of the people who drew these pictures and stuff could still be alive. You can't just steal these images. And again, it's a mix. So there's some amateur work here mixed in too. Oh, it's kind of a bookkeeping thing too. He's got lists of the people's names and what's been received. Look at this. So maybe this book is one of the head guys in one of these groups here. Different people's hanko. Soka soka. I have to ask Doi-san what this is all about. Some kind of scenery here. This is labeled with the months. We have December, November, October, September, August. We'll go back to the page before. Maybe we've got the full set here. Yes. So here we have a full set here. Fukei Juni Kagetsu. Fukei is scenery, Juni Kagetsu, months of the year. And Ogawa must be the guy's name. I can't read his first name. It's a funny mix. They've made them look like Edo stuff, you know. The first one for January. It's a semi-ukiyo-e type picture, you know. Very nice. So there's a full set there of those 12. Very nice. This is nice too. Look at this Aizuri, a set of blue. This is again, looks like another set of, it's another set of 12. These are cool. This would make a nice set to reproduce. Look at this. Simple and clean. Japan here used to be death plus 50, it's now death plus 70 to match the European. As part of the TPP negotiations, the Trans-Pacific Partnership set up, Japan had to make its copyright laws match the copyright laws in other countries. And they've extended it now, so it's death plus 70 here in Japan, which actually puts Hasui back in. Look at this. This is kind of a parody of that Utamaro Awa fisherman with the kappa underneath. She's taken this kappa as a pet rather than the actual image that we saw in the real version. Anyway, there we go. Just a little bit of an introduction to some of these. Oh, Harada. Wait a minute. This is Harada. This is our carver. The guy who gave me the carving bench. This is Harada-san. Yeah, and printing, yes, they're going to be cut up. In fact, you're going to see that as part of the video that we're making. I will actually do some printing as you watch, and we will have some of these prints actually available. We found an old block which is usable. We're going to print them as part of that video and then put them into our shop catalog. Okay, I think what I should do now though is actually get back to work. Sorry for the distraction there for a minute. Let's put the camera back in place and get back to my actual sizing work. Excuse me for the earthquake again here. What do you need to see? There's the bucket. that enough? Do I need to zoom out any farther? Okay, sorry about the distraction, guys. Okay, now, I really don't know what I'm doing. It's all a totally new setup. I'm going to roll up the towel, put it away. I'm going to flip the paper, put it beside me. I think there's room. Then just get back to the sizing work one by one by one by one. I think the size has survived its 10-minute break there. Let's see. Okay, back to work. It might have made sense to warm this up too. Ha ha ha. Win some, lose some. Okay, feels warm. Let's just go for this. Here we go now. That was the front side I did before. We are now going to do the back side. And the paper is not hot, but neither is it as cold and as chilly as it has been. So let's just keep quiet here, Dave, and just get going with this now. Excuse me. You know what I'm going to do? Bang, 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 bang. Looking good. I'm happy, I think, so far. I am happy so far. It's cooling down fast over there. Bit too much there. Just too much. This is going well. I am happy with this. To be doing this in the middle of dead winter and get it as smooth as we've got here. I am a happy cat here. This is looking good. As a first test of a hot plate system here, this is looking good. I would like a wider place. This paper also should be kept warm, I think. But as a first trial of this system, I'm happy. I'm going to tell Aoyama-san. He'll be here later. No, he won't be here today. He'll be here tomorrow. As a first test, I think we're really good at this. Let's see. I mean, we're not done because what I have to do also too is hang it, and it's going to hang the instant it's hung. Of course, it goes to room temperature, 10 degrees, and that's that. It's game over. But if we can at least get the glue softened and spread throughout the paper well before we start drying, that's a step ahead of where we were last week. Obviously, brushing the glue onto cold paper right away, it was congealing. So we're a step ahead of where we were. Oh, way too much. Dave, ouch. Also, something I was a bit nervous about before coming this morning to try this. I saw Aoyama-san's setup here. We have an electrical situation here. This thing takes whatever 1500 watts, and he's plugged this hot carpet into the same circuit. We've only got 2 circuits up here. We've got all the lights and everything else. And what I didn't show you, and what I haven't used, is this. This isn't the extent of his setup. What he also did was this. Overhead here, you see what this is? He has set up a hot unit from one of the Japanese kotatsu. He's taken the unit from a Japanese low kotatsu table and he suspended it in the air over my head with the idea that turning that on would you know, give a hot. But what he didn't calculate was the electricity and poof, out it went. So I guess when he tested it, he did it without testing the actual, you know, he didn't have the heater turned on. And I'm not sure it's a good idea anyway to have a radiant heat on the top of this sheet. We want the paper to be warm, but I sure don't want it to dry out. And also, you know, like hot air doesn't come down, it goes up. So I'm not quite sure that's such a useful part of this. And I left it off today's experiment. So. Microwave you're talking about? The microwave's going very, very well. It's succeeded way above our expectations. The party's going very well. People are really happy with the prints they make. Super sa. Okay, last sheet. This is now pretty chilly, this sheet, but it's okay. It'll get here. I think to extend this concept, the hot carpet really should go right to the end of the table, and the waiting paper also should be warmed. So we'll try and see what to do. So far, so good. That's it for the brushing today. Okay, now next step here is still on the carpet. Let's cover this. What did I do with a piece of plastic? Okay, I am now going to let this sit, just like we did before while we were chatting about those smaller prints. I'm going to let this sit for maybe 10 minutes and then hang it up. And that's the part that I can't control. That room is cold, of course, there's no way to control it. So at the moment of hanging up, that's the point when these things go down to 10 degrees. But I think we've got mission accomplished. The liquid, as I sit here and talk now, the liquid is spreading out smoothly inside here. It's warm, it's not congealing. I think we're way a step ahead of what we were doing last week. We'll see how it goes. The proof will be, of course, when the printers try this. Now this paper is for, as I said, it's for the 3rd month's print. So printing on this won't really start well, the blocks are still being carved, so the printing won't start for a few weeks yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal, after this dries tonight, I'm going to steal one sheet from the batch and do some testing. Have a look at it just to test myself, because I can't wait for 1 month later to get the feedback from the printers. Dave, what you did on Monday, January 21st didn't work. Please try something else. Because that feedback won't come from the printers to me for a month. So I'm going to steal one of these sheets and pass it around to chop it up, pass it around to printers, and get some testing done immediately, so we don't have this long feedback. We'll get some short feedback. There's no other way. We have to do it that way, so of course. I've missed chat here. I'm sorry. I see my name in lights here. Black. Questions. Love your YouTube videos. Thank you very much. Good. We're having fun making them. Hopefully another one coming not too long. IR lights, that would be interesting. Yeah, like the ones they have in restaurants to keep the food warm, to show. That works through what? It doesn't actually air molecules moving, it's infrared radiation, to show. So will that help heat the stack or just keep the surface warm? I don't know, but yeah, maybe that's a good idea, because I think this thing he's cooked up now, I don't really think it's going to work. It uses a ton of electricity, and it doesn't, I don't believe it radiates at all. I think it's just warming, and the air will just go up. I don't know. Stone cold, dry stone scone. Okay, I think, yeah. I think we'll wrap it up here. As I said, I have to wait 10 or 15 minutes before I hang it. We're almost at the end of our time. So sometimes I've taken you to the next room to see the hanging. I don't think we can see that today. I just don't want to do this as carefully as I can by myself, as quickly as I can, without the distraction. So I think we'll call it a day here. This is Monday morning here in Tokyo. So as you know, regular viewers know, Tuesday morning, there will be no stream tomorrow. Tuesday is my day off from streaming. I will be busy here in the shop. We're going to keep that shutter closed and as locked as tight as I can, because we get a ton of work to do. I'll be back here on Wednesday. And those of you who've been watching the last few days know almost certainly what will be happening. Next Wednesday's stream will be carving on that little boxwood block that I've got going here. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching. I've had a good week, you know. We've been up and we've been down. I know a lot of us here. I was down for a day last Tuesday. Suga-san is not healthy. Kawai-san's down for the day. We're struggling with the flu thing here in Tokyo, like everybody is. There's a flu epidemic sweeping the country right now, same as many other places. We'll get through it. We'll see how it goes. Hey, thanks for your support. Thanks for the comments. I'll have a read again at lunchtime, go through, see what we've done. I'll be back again here, same time, same station, down on the first floor on Wednesday morning, and I'll see you then. Till then, I love reading the cards and letters and the YouTube comments. Okay, thanks so much, guys. See you next time. It's good fun. Thank you very much. Where's the camera? Camera off. So now I can eat this. My God, like a rock. No. See you soon.